find them to be a team, a group of people, a group of players that is just unsalvageable. These are ego-dripping, self-absorbed putzes, all of them. And I don't want to talk about them. I have avoided talking about their early season problems because I don't like them. They're more drama than their talent. They are wrapped up in their own stuff. They're dysfunctional and underperforming. I don't want to talk about them. So when I do, it is going to be very particular set of skills. It'll be very specific moments. And yesterday, the Nets fire Steve Nash, which certainly symbolizes something. And it looks like they are going to hire Ime Udoka, which certainly symbolizes something. And so here's my thoughts, and then we're quickly moving on because I don't like these people. Steve Nash may not have been a real NBA head coach. Steve Nash may not be a credible NBA head coach. Steve Nash may not have been the right hire. But you think this was Steve Nash's problem? You think this was Steve Nash's lack of coaching? You think this was Steve Nash's lack of leadership? All of the dysfunction of the Nets starts and ends with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and that's the list. That's the list. The Brooklyn Nets once upon a time had a different coach, Kenny Atkinson. Why was he let go? Oh, that's right. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving didn't want him. Once upon a time, this team had a lot of good young players and then traded some of those good young players for James Harden. Why did that happen? Oh, that's right. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Ultimately, James Harden was traded for Ben Simmons. Why did that happen? Oh, that's right. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And then everybody came back this year after pleading and begging, please, please reconsider. And Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving came back. And now they're 1-5, and you think this is a Steve Nash problem? They wanted Steve Nash. So you say, well, Steve Nash was not a credible head coach. Do you realize when he was hired, Kyrie Irving said literally, I don't think we need a head coach. I don't think we have a head coach. I could be head coach. Kevin could be head coach. Oh. You realize that Steve Nash had to answer questions about where Kyrie Irving was at one point in time, and he didn't know? Where's Kyrie? Don't know. Is Kyrie going to play tonight? Don't know that. Has Kyrie contacted you? Don't know that either. Is he in contact with anybody? Don't know that. Steve Nash was handed a pot of dog poo and asked to make an apple pie. Okay? So the idea that this is a Nash problem is ludicrous. The problem has been at the very start and at the very end, Sean Marks's trust and empowerment of those two losers. Kevin Durant has championships, but his inability to actually be a leader makes him a loser. Because Kevin Durant knows better, and he lets all of the dysfunction happen. Kyrie doesn't know better. Kyrie has had his brain warped through years of internet searches and dark web theories and nonsense. I mean, look, you want to just comment on his most recent dust up about the anti-Semitic movie that he posted on his social media page. All you need to know is this man honestly, earnestly thought the earth was flat. The moment you say that and go to bat for that, I mean, what credibility could you possibly have with any theory moving forward? What would you do if your coworker or your brother or sister or parent or family member this Thanksgiving said, no, I really believe the earth is flat? You'd automatically dismiss every opinion from them for the rest of eternity. So let's just do that with Kyrie. His brain is oatmeal. Who cares what he says? Who cares who he fights with? Who cares? He's just a breathing, snorting, ridiculous, dysfunctional dope. A gullible dope. It's it. No harm, no foul, just a gullible dope. We don't know where Kyrie is. We don't know if he's going to get vaccinated. We don't know if Kevin is happy. We don't know why Kevin wants to be traded this summer. Kevin says he wants to be traded. The Nets go, we don't know why. We can't figure out why. And then ultimately, Kevin gives the ultimatum. Fire Steve Nash, fire Sean Marks, or I'm not coming back. They go, well, we're not doing that. And then he comes back anyway. These two people, human beings, are nothing but egocentric, fly by the seat of their pants, conspiracy theory peddling losers. And they have done all this. And the problem is Sean Marks has let it happen. Sean Marks is a smart guy, seemingly. Sean Marks came from an organization that never bent over backwards for stars. Sean Marks knows how to build a good franchise. He was doing so before these two guys. But he fell in love with the really pretty, really dysfunctional girl. And he can't shake it. And he's in too deep. And he fights every night with her. And she tries to stab him with steak knives. And she's got all of this baggage. And they don't get along, and it's clearly dysfunctional, and they fight over dinner, and they're in public places, and they yell at one another, and it's really weird and really awkward and ruining everybody's time around them, but he can't quit it. He can't quit Kevin, and he can't quit Kyrie because they are one package together, and he can't get out of it, and he's empowered them to do anything. Whatever you want, we need you guys. You want to be vaccinated? No? Well, we'll bring you back anyway, or just road games, or, well, we'll see. And Kevin, why do you want to be traded? We want you here. And what do you want? Do you want James? Do you not want James? And now Steve Nash is gone. And look, Steve Nash was a lark. Steve Nash was a reach. But Steve Nash was also the guy those two guys wanted. They hired guys just to be on the staff because those two guys wanted them. So now they'll get Ime Udoka. And Ime's a more successful head coach, but he also brings his own barrel of issues. I mean, whatever happened in Boston, sleeping with coworkers' wives, sexual harassment, whatever that thing was, he brings that to Brooklyn. You think that's going to fix it? I mean, it's always something. And you need no other evidence that those two guys, Kyrie and Kevin Durant, are the center of the dysfunction, more so than Kyrie's interaction with the ESPN reporter the other day about when he tweeted a link to the movie that's very clearly anti-Semitic. Because if Kyrie held significant beliefs about the movie, had clear thoughts about its message, had a reason that he could articulate about tweeting it, in that moment, he would not say, next question, move on. Next question, you're trying to be famous. Next question, I'm not talking about it. No. If Kyrie had clear articulation of why that was an important movie, he could stand there, sit there, and answer questions about it. But Kyrie likes to pull a pin on a grenade, throw it into a crowded movie theater, and then say, why is everybody freaking out? What? You guys have never seen a grenade before? Oh, you think a grenade can kill you? Well, let me tell you about how often somebody gets hit by a bus every single day. Oh, now you're scared about grenades. Well, why'd you come see the movie? Didn't you wonder about your second form of egress? Did you know where the emergency exits were? Oh, well, you live every single day of your life, and you don't even know where the exits are, the emergency exits. Do you know what fire code is? Have you thought about that? Well, what about fire code of this movie theater? And by the way, do you realize that you're being lied to with the promotion of this flick, of this movie? Because they're showing you trailers of other movies just to get you back in this movie theater. Ever think about that? Instead of taking any responsibility. So, yeah, Steve Nash got canned. That ain't solving anything. The cancer of the team is Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, never to be cured. This cannot be cured with those two guys. They are manipulative, egocentric, dysfunctional bozos. They are both emotionally immature. They are wrapped in their own stuff, clearly. And you want to do business with them? Have at it. But don't think you'll ever have a healthy winning culture. Ain't going to happen no matter who the head coach is.